Hi everyone, so I'm here to talk to you about the Optimum Performance Training Model, which is an exercise prescription program that is designed for athletes of all ages, all abilities, all everything. So it can be used for preseason, postseason, the middle of the season, anytime you want. It starts on the basis of stabilization, which I think is the most important, and I've always thought that core and stabilization is the most important in all exercises. So in order to have a solid core, you have to be able to stabilize your entire body. In doing so, the most important muscle during this is the transverse abdominis, which is the deepest layer of the abdominal muscles. And in order to fire that muscle properly, they have to be properly instructed, and that contraction alone is the most important contraction when doing any sort of exercise training at any level. So that will always be the first step. In doing so, there was just recently a study with dancers that tested their transverse abdominis with pirouettes that they did. So they had a 9-week program, and they tested the ability of the transverse abdominis contraction during their pirouette, and it allowed for them to see if the muscle was firing properly, how that affected their entire dance routine during their pirouette, which is one specific skill. So the study only used one specific skill, so it didn't use any other types of dances, stuff like that. It was strictly ballet, which is one of the problems with the study. But the transverse abdominis in all other sports can lead to, if it's not firing properly, it can lead to more injury if there's an external force. So say you're playing soccer and someone gets hit from the side. If they have a strong proprioceptive neuromuscular action with their transverse abdominis, they're not going to fall as far, they're not going to be able to react how they need to react, which is super important in injury prevention. And then the following steps of the program are the strength and the power. So that strength is really where they get their endurance, their agility, their speed, their quickness, their overall athletic, sports-specific stuff. So during that phase, they can use any form of exercise as long as they're using what they learn in their stabilization. So that first step is the most important overall. So without that transverse abdominis, they really can't figure everything out with everything else. There have also been other studies that suggest that transverse abdominis, along with the paraspinals of the spine, those two working congruently will allow for various decreased chances of injury. So that is also a very important thing. So overall, with this entire optimum performance training, you have 5 different levels with 3 different steps. So all 5 of those are completed in one training session. So that power is that last one. So it takes everything you learn from stabilization, everything you learn from strength, and it increases it. The most important thing during these things are also the focus on plyometrics if they are working on their jumps, anything like that. So that plyometric uses an eccentric contraction, which uses less muscle fibers, which gets them used to using that strength, using that, that anabolic pathway, which is most important. But overall, the stabilization is the key point in order to get any form of